that girl was looking like, where my man? Where? Because this ain't it. This is not the order I put in with the matchmaker. Ain't no way this is my husband. Welcome back in, everyone. This is Black Girls Talking TV, where we bring the group chat to life and discuss all your favorite TV shows. Today is all about Married at First Sight, Season 20. We are discussing the first 3 episodes. I am Victoria. I am one of your hosts, and I'm a psychologist.
And I'm Kamaria. I'm an attorney and a pop culture writer. And before we get into these episodes, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you hit that notification bell, and be in the comments. Let us know your thoughts, your initial thoughts on these couples. I want to know who y'all think is going to make it. I want to know all that good stuff. Before we start into the couples, let's talk about overall thoughts, because the editing this season, we've both been talking about how it's way better.
Way better.
The flow.
Way better. Yes. Chris Colleen got in there.
I think that what is so good about it is that we get to we're introduced to the guys having that conversation, the women having the conversation. So you get a feel for like personalities a little bit, and you get to see like, okay, who's the, because Felipe, I was like, all right, we see his personality a little bit coming out, and it was nice to see them in a little bit more of a relaxed environment of like meeting the other guys than, you know, just
in
like
their interviews.
Wedding first. Because I think that's how they did season 19. At least that was my first season, but it seemed like they just did wedding.
Yeah,
each couple.
They'll do the wedding with like a mix of like the interviews that they have with the matchmakers and the therapists and stuff. Yeah. But even the way they were pairing the matchmaker interviews throughout the wedding in these edits, I thought were way better, because it was like they were showing the parts of the couple that would make them compatible. Yeah. So I thought that was good, which I mean they usually do, but it just, the sequence, the editing, everything was just better. Even the questions that the matchmaker was asking like some of the guys and things like that, I thought were a little bit more thought-provoking, or like calling them to the table to make sure that they were like suitable people. Now there was some things I was kind of like, all right, now if you asking this, why the hell you setting a sister up with this? But we'll get into all of that as we discuss the couples. But again, I am with you. It was the editing way better. It started off, I was like instantly entertained, and that's what we need to see.
Yeah, no, I agree. So kudos to them on that. And then also, like, what'd you think about the bringing in new therapists this time? Because I was like, was it the fact that all 5 marriages last time fell apart? Like, what do you think that shift was about?
Well, I think these 2 that we see, I was interested as to why they went from 3 to 2, but they have younger energy, which I think is refreshing for the show. Like Pastor Cal and the older white lady, they were very just like old, and I don't mean that in the age sense, but just like in their approach to how they even had like discussions. It was very much so on more of like a traditional. I don't even know how to word it with off as like ages. No, but ages.
I get what you're saying, though. I really do get what you're saying. There's something about the energy, especially Pastor Cal, like that felt like, are you really equipped to handle these relationships that are coming up in the modern day? Okay, it's like
right.
I don't know. Yeah. So I know what you mean. Should we get into the couples? Are there any overall thoughts that you want to share before we get into the couples?
I don't know. I think that was pretty much my overall thoughts. We can definitely get into the couples. Let's start with Beljalie and Mecca. Yeah. I would say when they first came on the screen together, they were going through their interviews and things like that. I was like, oh, they're going to be a great vibe, a great match. I was like, I'm loving this. I was like, her mom was supportive. Yeah. You know, they had similar stories in terms of being raised in single parent households and coming from broken families. And they seem like they kind of want the same thing. And that's part of why, you know, having families and sticking together. I was like, okay, this might be good. He make his money. They got their family business. She's a singer. She could probably be supported while she, you know, does her endeavors and whatever all that entails. But I was like, I'm loving them. And then we got to that wedding.
Oh, what'd you think about, like, okay, what didn't you like about the wedding? Or what was it? Is it the dad?
Wedding. Because it was his daddy. It was Mecca's daddy. Mecca's daddy? Yeah, because first I was like, oh, Mecca daddy fine. And then he opened up that mouth and I said, baby,
he didn't give me fine, but I mean he's not bad looking. But let me, before we get to the dad, because that's a whole topic in and of itself. But let me say my thoughts on Mecca and Beljalie. I'm not even sure if I'm pronouncing the name right, but I instantly, like, attraction wise, I think they're right at an equal match. They're equally yoked. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes. I felt like both of them give nice. They're nice, good, attractive people. And I thought they were going to find each other attractive. And so, like, I can tell that they do. And I like that for them. I also felt like they're just compatible across all of, they do these different jobs. She's, into art and, her music, all that good stuff. It's given they're on the same wavelength, period, And so he has several, I think, different job. His main job is the sanitation worker. He had these other interests that I can't remember what they were, but I enjoyed that. And so I just feel like out of anybody that I've seen thus far, I feel like they're going to make it. Now, I do want to see a little bit, let's shift over to the daddy. I do want to see a little bit of, like, I need to see him a little bit more. I think I'm not saying that in the sense that he's hiding, just I'm saying that in the sense of once we get to see the show unfold more of his personality, not the dad, the son, Mecca. More of his personality will unfold, because I'm like, how is it to be raised? Like, what personality forms as a byproduct of being raised by a man like that? And so I'm
unhinged.
I'm trying to figure out what it is, what's going to happen. Yeah. So go ahead and see your thoughts about the dad.
Yeah, no, it is a lot. And, like, initially, if there was any, like, red flags with Mecca outside of his dad, I'm not saying that, like, being raised by his dad is the red flag. It is just, like, again, what you just said, what is the personality of being a byproduct of somebody who is so unhinged? Like, I'm just waiting for the unhingedness of Mecca to come out.
Really?
Or what is his unhinged sphere? What does that look like? But Mecca seems like he has a lot of insecurities around not being chosen or accepted. Yeah. And there were little things he kept saying all throughout the wedding night where it, like, kept coming up, where he was looking for reassurance. And so that does kind of, like, I am kind of like, what is that going to look like? Especially when you're first meeting someone, right? And then like you're looking for that constantly. I feel like that can be very draining before somebody like really knows you or loves you or understands you. So I'm wondering how that will resonate with Bella in terms of, like, her being like, all right, this is she gonna find it exhausting? Is she gonna be like, this is something I'm willing to, like, pour into? I'm okay with her, because she seems like she's very confident in herself, and she comes from a very, even though it might not be a 2-parent household, her mom seems like she's poured a lot into her, you know? And so I don't see her being somebody who's constantly worried about, like, being chosen and what she looks like and X, Y, and Z, especially when 2 people have decided to do such an experiment and they're already showing, like, interest and attraction to one another. But you got Mecca, who your dad is telling you, oh, if she kiss you on the cheek, it mean this. If she kiss you on the lips, it mean this. And is you gonna hit? I think you gonna get some skins and X, Y. It's like, it's too much. It's too much. You know what I'm saying? So,
it's entirely too much.
Yeah.
The one thing I think of in relation to his dad is that I think his insecurity comes from his dad, because the way that man was just jab, 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 jab at the, like, at the wedding speech, it's just like, like, even when he stood up, it's just like, it's too much. And I think that, and so I'm trying to see a clearer picture of who Mecca is, because I think the first thing I'm seeing is that the insecurity is probably because he's used to being jabbed by his dad a little bit. And I think the thing I like about not Mecca, because the Meccas I know are girls. So I keep thinking that Beljalie, her name is Mecca. But anywho, the thing I like about her is that she kept being like, not too much of my man. It's not too much of my husband. And I feel like that sort of energy she does need. I know we just were watching whatever with Casey and TT, but it's like, there's a difference between, like, when that's your husband, she's made a commitment to this man, and she's like, yeah, no, that's not too much on my man. And
But also, too, it was too much because don't be doing too much at the wedding and like tearing me down, like especially around all these people that I don't know. I was watching it with my friend and I was like, because even it was another speech, I can't remember exactly what couple, where the brother, it was the Asian girl and the basketball player, and her brother was like saying, she loves to go out at night and like party and da 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 da, and it's like, we don't know these people, like at the end of the day. So like maybe at the 10-year wedding vow renewal, maybe, and you gonna still have to keep it cute. But like not first day, we all meeting each other. I don't know anything about this Nance family. And you getting up there and you telling like my most embarrassing moments of my life. Like, I don't want to hear that. So I felt like it was the right place for Bella to be like, okay, no, like, hold on, like, we ain't gotta invent. And I felt like it was a good show of like, no, I'm gonna support you. Like, I understand, like, this could be very embarrassing. Like,
I think that, so to the point you were raising earlier about whether it would be exhausting, I feel like she's going to bring reassurance, right, to him. That's my early read of it, is that he's going to have these insecurities or these things that are going to show up, and she is going to bring reassurance. And I think she's going to have a higher tolerance for his insecurity than someone else. Now, whether his insecurity is an empty well or whether her reassurances will fill it up where he's like, okay, I don't get the vibe. I'm not, you're showing me it's safe. So those insecurities go away a little bit. Whether that happens or whether he continues to need reassurance and reassurance on the same thing she's already reassured. That is, I don't know what's going to happen with that. And we'll see. But it feels like, at least initially, as they get to know each other, I don't think she will have a problem with reassuring him. And I think she's a good match for this type of thing because she really feels settled and she feels like she just goes with her gut about like, oh yeah, no, that ain't, she said it to her family member, like, not too much of my husband. And he's the father standing up, not too much of my man. Like, he is unhinged. Like, she seems to go with what her first read is and just boom, like, I'm going to act on how I feel about it, as opposed to assessing like, should I say this or should I not? Like, so I feel like she's going to come to his defense and she's always going to be supportive of him. So it's just about this. Will that be enough for him?
Yeah.
And so time will tell. But yeah,
right.
I like them the most. I think that if they can not get caught up in whatever there is to be caught up in, because there is going to be some stuff that's going to be obviously problems every couple does. But if they can move forward, I like them. I like them as my top couple.
Yeah, we will see. We shall see. I'm definitely rooting for them. I think they match each other's weird. Like, I know me, if I would have saw the nails painted, I would have been like, all right, like, what's happening?
I don't think I saw the nails. I missed that.
Girl, how you missed the nails? They were painted black, baby.
Yeah, no, I missed the nails. I missed them. Did they have a conversation about it?
No, but I'm saying it would have been a conversation for me, or
but
you.
I guess I'm saying like, I guess I just didn't notice it. I'm like, did I miss a conversation where she called out the nails? That's
what I'm saying. Like, if it was me, it would have been in a confessional, or it would have been a conversation. Like, or I would have been like, oh, your nails, they're done. Like, tell me about this. Is this like
no
a
facts
for you?
If I had noticed them, that would have been an issue for me. I mean, not an issue, but I would have. Yeah, I would have been like,
yeah.
But the one thing else I want to say about the dad is, there was a time when he was sitting there where I'm like, are you mad at
hit on her?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, I'm like, this is just weird. Like, a therapist needs to sit down with the dad. Like, you know how they had the therapist come and sit down with the couples. I need him because I see interference going on. Not necessarily like he trying to hit on her, even though it looks a little sus. But I'm saying, like, as a whole, I don't think he's going to do that. I don't think he's going to be inappropriate or whatever. But I do think his way he interacts with the son, there could be some intervention there.
I'm calling it. I think he is going to be inappropriate towards Bella. I mean, because
Bella.
He's inappropriate with Mecca about Bella. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't even know this young woman, and you are talking about him having an erection about this woman that your son is just meeting. I literally, like, I had the thought. I was like, what's going on here? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. From what I heard, saw a video come down my timeline. This man is a principal. Mecca's father is a principal. I'm not sure if it's an elementary, middle, or high school, but it was like clips of old TikToks that had been deleted because somebody was like, "Oh, this is my principal," and I guess they went down the timeline and got some old videos, but it was him. He picked up like a bag of cashews and was like, "Who said to be eating my nuts?" or something like that. And then it was another one where he stuck a vacuum hose to his cheek, and was like alluding to like, you know.
Oh, you're kidding me.
Yes. So it's like I could just see the line being crossed. Like whether it will be super blatant and explicit, I don't know, but it'll be something, because it's like, why are you sitting down with this young woman, even when he was like trying to get her read on like, what you feel about my son? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You seem a little flustered up there. Like, sir, I don't know you. Like, move around. Absolutely. Move the fuck around. I don't know you and I don't know your son. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, and my whole family here, we can all get it. Like, what's happening? Like, because you're being, it's too much. It's too much. So I am calling it. I think something inappropriate is definitely going to come out of his mouth, because he's too comfortable. He's not thinking before he's speaking, like, whatsoever.
Not at all. Not at all. I absolutely agree. Unhinged was the perfect word. I think she sees him clearly. Yeah, she gonna need to keep her both eyes open for his ass and set them boundaries. Like, no, you good.
That's a grandfather. Like, you don't bring your grandkids around too much. Like, straight up. I can't.
Yeah. Nope. I 1,000% agree. And actually, something like that, like having a grandfather like that, or like a father-in-law like that, that's something that would cause me to have hesitation about the man that I'm dealing with. Just being honest, it would, like, I need us to be on the same page about the behavior. And if we're on the same page, then it's like, you can't help who your family is. But if we're on the same page that this behavior is a little unhinged, if we're on the same page that maybe there could be some possible different approaches to how you set boundaries with him, even, then maybe. But like, I wonder if that's going to be an issue for her in how they move, because that would be the biggest red flag that I would see if I was her, is the daddy. Yes. Is the daddy, They talk about mother-in-laws a lot. This is like equivalent to that. You know how people like a monster-in-law? This is not a monster-in-law. This is a odd.
He's intrusive. Yeah, he's intrusive.
It's
very intrusive. Yeah. And I don't know if he sees it as an issue, because when the things that he was saying to him, Mecca was kind of like laughing it off, or like joining in the conversation, like, yeah, you right. So I don't think, like, his friends seem to like try and bring like some logic to it, because the daddy said something about the different kisses, and he was like, fellas, what y'all think? And they were like, I think it was the right move, dude. Like, which like, just turn the brain on a little bit, Mecca. Like, she is just meeting you. Like, it would have been cool to get the kiss, but it's also not a big deal that you didn't get the kiss either.
Yeah, absolutely. Even though I think that's on his side. On her side, I would have liked her to see her do the kiss, just because I'm like, you are kind of giving, it's not that serious. But I mean, everybody has their boundaries, but you are kind of committing your whole life to him. Like, you could give a little kiss. I don't think the sex that first night is something that I probably wouldn't be doing that either, because it's like, you want to be comfortable, you want to actually be in a space of love and not just lust. And it's like, relationships as a whole, I don't think work as well when they're just so lusty in the front. You kind of run out of runway. And so I think that building up to that is just fine. But I think the kiss, I would have liked to see her kiss, but it's I give her that space to make that decision for herself. But on his side, I think for sure he shouldn't have read into it in any kind of way, other than it's like, she's got a little bit of boundaries. But yeah, to your point, the friends, I'm so glad, especially that one friend that was like, y'all a match made in heaven, bruh. Like, okay, bruh. Like, it's okay. Like, this is great. Like, cut the shit. So, because I think that it's difficult to be raised by dad like that and not have some of that infiltrate like how you operate, and not to not trust that your father's leading you in the right way. So it's a little. I hope that there's not more here behind Mecca that is like problematic because of his dad,
Yeah. Especially that he's not aware of because of that. You're raised by who you're raised by, and you you just find it to be normal, and that's just what it is, especially if you don't have anybody correcting it. But maybe, like as we saw with the speech, Bella will be the one to correct it, and he'll hopefully wake up and be like, oh, okay, yeah, actually maybe this is
a problem.
Too much.
And I wouldn't want it to like damage his relationship with his father, because the father seems pretty active, but also at the same time, it's instead of it being necessarily a damaging their relationship, maybe the father can take any boundaries that he sets up, that the Mecca sets up, as an opportunity for his own growth, and to shift the relationship in a better, like, shift it in a more appropriate way, because they probably have really a great relationship. So I'm not trying to say make it better. I'm saying just there's some things that could be a little bit more less unhinged, about how he throwing jabs at him, like, you could stop. You could take an opportunity to like not make it all about you. This is his wedding day. But anywho, are we done with them? Do we want to move on to the other black couple? We like to talk about, like, the black folks.
Yes, Nikki and Sean.
Thoughts? They said her. That was the question you was thinking about when she was like, I like a tall man. This man is the shortest man in the bunch. Okay.
Yeah, not only that, let me just say, Nikki was made for reality TV, baby. No, for real. Like, Nikki, I don't think Nikki understands how hilarious she is, okay? Because when she walked down that aisle and she said, I'm ready for my husband, she passing the flowers and she just, where is he? Oh, hold up. Motherfucker right in front of me.
You think she didn't know that was the husband?
She definitely didn't know that was her husband. She was looking around confused, like,
you think that? I thought she just was trying not to make eye contact with him because she did not find him that attractive. Like, and she just didn't know what to do. And so she was just looking around. You thought she didn't know? Maybe I missed that.
Yeah, I took it as she was waiting for that man to still walk down the aisle, like she was just like, this can't be it.
I'm like, you see a group.
Once it was like Nikki meets Sean, she said her face went flat. Her face went from I'm ready to oh shit.
I thought she was thinking that he was. I thought she was just like trying not to make eye contact because she was just not feeling it. Like, and so she was just looking everywhere else. Like, you know how you nervously may like look, just, okay, all right, so we're here, we're doing it. And then like, but the person that you're in front of is, you're not like, I just thought she wasn't feeling him. And so she just was just like looking everywhere else because she didn't know what to do. And if she looked at him too much, she might have like a oh shit moment. So I clocked that she wasn't looking at him, but I thought it was because, like, let us know in the comments, how'd y'all read that? Because maybe I was watching it with someone and they, people like to have commentary and talk through it, and so you miss certain things. So maybe I just missed that, but I thought that she was just being awkward because she didn't want to look at him and she wasn't attracted and she didn't want that to show on her face, so she was just like, okay.
Yeah, I took that as she was waiting for that man. She was trying to figure out when does
the groom ever come out after the bride? That's why I was like, you have to know that this is your groom right here. What, you thought it was the best man? He's like, you gonna hold it down for my husband. But there already was a woman officiant there. I don't know.
Maybe she thought, it was production. Maybe she thought something was off with the lineup and whatever. But that girl was looking like, where my man? Where? Because this ain't it. This is not the order I put in with the matchmaker. Ain't no way this is my husband.
They did play her with that. I will say that I wonder if they're going to connect. I feel like if she can get past the attraction, because she's already said that she doesn't quite feel it yet. But if she can get there, I think that they could match. They could work out. I just think
baby, she ain't gonna get there. She looking like, I want me a manly man. Okay. And you know what? Where she messed up at was saying she is what she said, sapiosexual. Yeah. And when I literally was telling my friend, I said, we need to apply for Married at First Sight. I was telling her, I was like, let's just do it. Let's just see.
Would you really?
Yeah, I would do it.
Oh, so interesting.
I was like, we have to be, as you can see, we got to be super specific. We can't, looks do matter. Okay. I need the height. I need this. I need that. I'm not going to say, well, I do prefer height, but I have dated shorter, looks do matter. But, as long as you can stimulate my mind, the attraction can grow, because you got exactly what the butts were. You got your butts, Nikki.
No, she did.
You got to be specific. If you have the opportunity to have a matchmaker in front of you, I feel like that's the time to really give all the check boxes. You know what I'm saying? Like, this ain't Love is Blind where you just going in, it's going to be random people and it's all about connection. And so you're trying to take away all of the other variables that can keep you from getting to know somebody. This is Married at First Sight. And at first sight, it needs to be on site. You know what I'm saying? So I need the list. Yeah. Give me the list. Point blank period. Give me the list.
I need your eyes to be my eyes. Okay? I need to let you know what I need to see.
Literally. Yes. And there was one couple that said that I guess they gave like celebrity crushes. The celebrity crushes got to be on point. They got to be on point, so you know what I'm looking for aesthetically, right? And I'm a Libra, so I'm an aesthetic girly. I'm an October Libra at that. So I had to clarify because you were September. I'm October.
What that's supposed to mean? Okay.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying that is like the difference. One of the key differences between September and, from what I've heard.
Really,
the October Libras are a little bit more into like aesthetics of things.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, the one thing I was thinking though, speaking to the celebrity situation, because he gave Lisa Leslie, and I'm like, the basketball player. I was like, or is it Lisa Lopez? Lisa Leslie? What is
no Lisa Leslie? She's a basketball player from. Yeah.
And I'm like, this is like,
it's giving Napoleon complex.
It's so funny. When I saw him, I know a Sean who looks just like him. However, he is married and to someone I know who I went to school with. And so I'm like, I don't think they got divorced. I will say that I liked Sean's personality. I did like it. I feel like he's very comfortable in who he is. And it may have taken some years to get there, but he feels settled. I will say some of his jokes, like the 69, I was like, are you reading the room? Because
he's not reading the room, but I thought that was hilarious. That would have had me crackling. Yes.
I was like, it would have icked me out. I would have been like,
no, that was funny. It seemed like from her commentary, she wanted to laugh at it too, but she just couldn't because
she want to keep them.
She got to give serious, we're not escalating vibes, as she said.
Yeah, but it felt like it hit her a little like, but I think it's also like the issue about attraction. Like when you're attracted to somebody, they may be able to say a little bit, but if you're not, it's like, please stop.
Which is why I said she's hilarious, because I think she wanted to laugh because she commented and was like, that's my favorite position too in the confessional. But it's like you feel like you got to be a little uptight in this situation because you're not attracted to him. But she said I had to. It seemed like that was when he asked for a kiss. She was like, I don't think we need to be kissing every 5 minutes. That's an escalation. It's like, it's really not an escalation. Like,
well, I mean, I get what she's saying. I would have wanted to like it, because I'm good on getting to know someone deeper before like the physical might not be. I'm not a very, maybe that's what you're talking about. It's the September and October Libras. Like I can be like, while I want to be very attracted to somebody, I have literally found people unattractive first. And then once their personality came through, I was like, oh my God, like I just they physically look different to me. Like they literally look different. And vice versa. Like people I found attractive and then their personality is just like, they actually don't look attractive to me anymore. So I get it, and I would have backed them up in the beginning too. But, we'll see.
Yeah, I wouldn't have. Not for a kiss. But again, I think if she was attracted to him, I think she would have been more open to it. But because she's like needing that extra time and space to get there, at least she's open to it. But it's definitely given like this is not our cup of tea,
for sure.
From the rooter to the tutor. And I don't know, he does have, I guess you can say, more like feminine mannerisms and things like that.
A little bit. I can see that. I think he is heterosexual, but I can see. I think it's the church. It's the growing up in the church. Like,
yes, when he said his dad was a pastor, I was like, okay, it just sometimes it do hit him a little bit. Yeah. But I did see a TikTok of a young lady who has dated. Now she did not name Sean, but she said in the video, and there were actually even at least one other commenter that was like, dated the same person, had a similar experience. I did not listen to the entire video because I didn't want it to color my perspective of Sean, but I figured it was Sean because she said, I asked my gay friend if I should say this person's name. And that said gay friend told her, no, because if he's not out, like, you don't want to out somebody X, Y, and Z. But she was talking about her dating experience. And of course, the overwhelming comments was like, of course it's Sean, of course it's Sean, of course it's Sean, of course it's...
What did she say about Sean, though?
I didn't even listen to it.
Oh, is that the video you sent me and told me to wait till I finish?
Yeah. So, okay, yeah. Well, no. The video that I sent you first was about the daddy. That was the video I sent you.
Yeah. Okay, I didn't watch it. Let me watch
this one.
Back.
I don't think I sent you this one because I didn't watch it through to even.
Okay.
But it started off with like, I dated somebody from Married at First Sight. Not going to say who he is, but he is gay. Like, that's what
she said. He is gay?
Yeah, or allegedly gay, or I think he's gay. It was something. It was given very much so confirmed because I needed to go talk to my person in the community to make sure making this video was okay.
I mean, it is interesting. I will say that we've said before during different conversations about mannerisms, like, I don't think just because someone operates in either a feminine or masculine way that means that they are of one sexual orientation versus the other, right? Just because their mannerism is like it may seem effeminate, or on the other end for women they may seem more masculine. Because I think we said it in Love Island with Beatrice. Like, I'm like, unless that person identifies as and their practices, because they could not be saying it outwardly, but behind the scenes doing it. But unless they say that, then I don't think that they're necessarily that, because I think there are things like being raised in a church. Sometimes there's a lot of women around and they like tambourines, you know what I'm saying? Like, they doing things that are they're around a lot of women, and so they pick up the mannerisms. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're gay. So I don't know what that is, but I could see how someone would think that, but I also could see how it's just maybe like a church thing,
Yeah, it's several things. I mean, it could be like the voice. It could be just like his posture.
Yeah. But I'm saying like the church thing. When I say the church thing, I'm not saying that being a Christian makes you that. I'm saying like being surrounded, especially in a black church, by all these women. It could be,
I've been raised in the church, and so I've seen it happen in both ways. So yeah.
The one thing I did want to mention is that because he brought up this aspect of being in a church and it's stunting his sexuality. I was like, damn, bro, like, you ain't have to like say your ages and stuff of when you had sex. Like, he was like 21 and then not again until 28 29. Or 29. I was like, that's a lot.
I mean, but it is like a real thing. Like, purity culture in the church is it's very much so a thing. Especially like depending on like your denomination and just like how much it is talked about. I would say like in my church, sex wasn't something that was like heavily like, don't do it. But it was a clear thing that you just don't engage in, right? And so like even as like a younger kid, or even like being in high school, like that wasn't something that was like ever on my mind, like having a crush or like liking boys. Like, it just was never a thing. It didn't happen until I went to college and I was like, oh boy, I can like boys. Like, okay, this is like a new feeling and a new thing. So yeah, but so I say that to say I appreciate him being open about that, because a lot of times it's just like the women who will talk about it and how it affects shame and guilt around premarital sex and things like that, and like being a quote unquote whore and all the things. So I thought it was nice that he shared that from a guy's perspective, and also
probably being a little bit more like I guess stereotypical on like what you expect a guy to say or whatever. And
yeah. You know. I mean, but that's why it's important to like have these conversations and for it to be highlighted, because it can happen. I would have never thought that, you know, a guy who was raised in the church would be necessarily struggling with that, or even be willing to even be comfortable talking about that, just because of what like sex means a lot of times in the male community and what that has to do with manhood. So I thought it was good that he was comfortable enough to just be like, yeah, it didn't happen. Like you said, it seems like he's very comfortable with who he is, and it's taken time to get there. I will say something I did like about him was when he was doing his vows and was like, you know, I've been buying 2 of everything, so like I have space for you, right? And there was another guy, the guy who played basketball, he was saying, oh, I have to get used to being in a relationship. And I was just, when I heard that, I was like, I don't want to hear stuff like that. One, going into a something as serious as marriage, like you're signing up for the biggest commitment that there is. So if you got to figure out how you get comfortable with sharing space with somebody, I don't want to hear that. But like, I was just like, look at the contrast of being ready for marriage. It's like you were preparing and like laying down stones for this building that you want to build with somebody, you know, like you've been thinking about it. You've almost been like manifesting it, right? Like, I'm just going to go ahead and grab 2 of this just in case, because I know my wife is on the way. So I absolutely loved that.
And I think that like at that point, that's what really, that would have won me over like a little bit.
Definitely.
Or, like, you know, I feel like he did a great job with that speech at the wedding. So.
Yeah, but it's so funny too though, because when he said he was this close to being a college president, and just going to an HBCU and experiencing Black college male presidents, or just other men who have wanted to be who have seen themselves being college presidents, like that's just something that they've set out for in their career. I was like, oh, this speech finna be presidential, baby. I already knew. I was like, oh, he finna come with it, and that he did. Just a few more things that I had on them, and why I said I feel like Nikki is made for reality TV, because she don't know how funny she is. One, when they brought up the couches, and she was like, if there was 3 couches, your name would have been on one of them. And then there's the escalation comments, wanting the heat on. She's like, it's a little hot. Like, it's just a little hot. And then she was like, how do you typically sleep? And he was like, with just shorts.
Put a shirt on.
Shirt? Yeah, go ahead. Please. Put that shirt on. Please put that shirt on.
Yeah, no, that actually was funny to me. So I was like, she doesn't have a problem. Putting that boundary up. And I think that's cool. But also, I will say, like, her wanting the income to be, I mean, there is a big difference between, like, you know, I mean, not a big difference, but there's a difference between like she said 200, there's a difference. 50. You know what I'm saying?
She said 250 she said 250.
But I'm saying she dropped it down to 200. Like, there is a difference, you know what I'm saying, from being up in the 200 to 300s than to being, because I think like somebody talked about how like 6 figures at this point, like being in the 100,000s, like that's like the 80,000s and the 70,000s of yesteryear. It's like not a bad salary, but it's not like she gives, you know,
it's I'm not giving night nurse.
Like she gives I have energy that I'm trying to the way I'm trying to live, you know, and I think she does need that above 200 to feel a certain way. But I say all that to say that I think that's what got her what she got, you know, just a little bit. The rigidity around that. I think that if they could have opened it up just a bit more for her, she could have maybe found a little bit, maybe the height, maybe, you know, just a tad bit. I'm not trying to say like, maybe going down to Black 150. Man. But, you know, I don't know.
Especially if she wanted a Black man. But that's just how it is, you know?
Yeah, I think overall, like Black people, there is, because of slavery and all the other shit, we have a lower, just as a people, net worth across the board, you know?
Yeah.
We have had to move through history behind,
Right.
behind.
Yeah.
And so we're catching up in various ways. And it doesn't mean that there are not black folks who make that amount. It just means that it's gonna be fewer and far between. So that's kind of.
But that was the one thing she was like almost like a deal breaker on, and it's like you might have needed to be a deal breaker on
the height,
some other things.
Well, the height isn't. I will say that the height isn't that important in the grand scheme of things, but
I mean, to her, I'm talking about for her, because she is sitting there now having to work through this idea of attraction, because of not saying that you're going to get one or the other. I'm pretty sure there are plenty of fine brothers who, you know what I'm saying,
but also
come with a little bit more.
I wonder if she only wanted to date like black men, or if she was open to all. Because if she was open to all, then that 200, that expands the pool a little bit more of like people that are options. But also because of racism, sometimes they not necessarily interested back. You know what I'm saying? That may not be their preference. And so it just depends. But I think it could have expanded her pool a little bit more.
Yeah, I think if she was open, she would have been dating somebody from a different race. I think that she probably wasn't
wanted a black man.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I think it definitely narrowed her options from what they had to pick from for her.
Probably, yeah.
Except
for like sometimes I think about how I think they want TV, good TV, or maybe they listen to like people talking about black love, we want black love or whatever, and showing couples a little bit more, some black love couples. And so them I just don't know what goes into all of it, because some of these couples, I will say, I feel like, why you set them up like this? Is it just for TV? You got to have a couple couples each season that's like you setting them up. But and this was one of them.
This is one of them for sure. Yeah.
But anyway, anything else on them?
No, that is all for them. Let's go ahead and move into Adam and Marissa. This was the first couple we were introduced to. Adam, this is another one that I felt like was a setup. Okay, because Adam got a lot. Adam got a lot going on. That boy is on a very high horse. I mean, very high. I was sitting there like, is anybody going to come into the room and humble this man? I don't even think you can humble him. I think he would take anything and flip it into a way where it serves him, because his horse is so high. Starting off with the piano. When he said, I gotta warm up, and went to go to that fireplace, warmed them fingers up, and then played what seemed like 30 minutes of piano while everybody was over there yawning, was hilarious. And then did the same thing at the wedding. When her friend started laughing, I was like, this is gonna be a wrap, because sister girl Marissa, she liked to joke around, she liked to have a good time, and her Buddy is rigid. Okay, the only fun he have is on them jet skis. That's it.
I agree. That's why I'm like, they set this up for the TV, because like ain't no way, even just off rip, we see she like to drink, her girls like giving him shots, he don't even drink. He don't even drink. Y'all know, and she a party girl.
You don't drink, you judging people who do. Like, and I hate that. It's like, if you decide that you wanted to go down a route where you no longer wanted to drink, don't judge the folks around you drinking, especially if they're not being sloppy with it. We just want to have a good time. We're at a wedding. Our wedding at that. We're gonna get a little loose, get a little lit. But you talking about because of the gift that she gave him, talking about red flag number one, because I don't drink. Like, she's supposed to know that. One. Two, he reading the letter, and then she talking about making instant macaroni and cheese on the stove, trying to be cute, and he talking about some not the cancer causing chemicals. Oh my god, like, yes, macaroni, instant anything is unhealthy, but she trying to be cute. Like, you can talk about those things later. You could say, let's just make real macaroni and cheese. You know what I'm saying? But you taking out all of the cutesy ootsy wootsy out of it because you want to go through your I'm Mr. Disciplinary like master bullshit. Like, it's too much. And then when he said that he has a program, he can get anybody in shape, and he already has a program written up for her. I was like, boy, you don't even know her shape. How you as a man that.
No,
it's why I say women don't ever need to go. Let me not say ever, because there are some good male trainers out there, but I was in my head thinking like, this is why sometimes women don't need to go to male trainers, because they think they got a one size fit all program for anybody, because it's based on what the hell they like to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I will say that he is not self-aware. He is rigid. He is an attractive guy. I actually thought, and I said this to the person I was watching it with, I was like, I know Victoria gonna eat me up for this facial comparison as well, but I'm like, I don't know, something about this mustache is giving me Michael B. Jordan, and Sinners, like, it was giving me white man, tall Michael B. Jordan. It did. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to say he was super attractive as Michael B. Jordan, but it's just like I was seeing it in his smile and in his face. I was seeing it. I'm sorry. Anywho, moving on. I know my eyes see in different ways.
Well, I'm trying to see. I'm closing my eyes, and I feel like when I close my eyes and maybe squint just a little, I can see it just a little bit. Like I actually can. I actually can.
Okay.
With this one.
Okay.
I can
I'm
see.
I'm glad.
Like visually, I'm looking at like Stacking Smoke, and I'm seeing this man Adam, and I'm like, okay, I can see this being maybe the mixed brother.
Albino cousin, yeah, something like that. Because he had a little curl in his hair too.
Like, texture, but yeah, texture.
but it really was this mustache. If he didn't have the mustache and like he just had a clean shave, and I'm not sure I would see it as much. It was just little things that were kind of giving me that, right? But I was looking at him and I was just like, this man is an attractive guy, depending on how he cuts his hair and stuff like that. Because there was a time where he looked less attractive because he didn't have. He need that little 5 o'clock, or, he need a little gruff right here. Just the mustache gives him corny a little bit. But there's something about him. I was like, he can pull, it feels like, because of his height, because of he seems to have nice and attractive features. But it's like the fact that you have all that and you're not finding what you're looking for, it tells me something about you and your ability to work well with others, just based on what I see in terms of how he shows up. I think that's probably his issue. And he kept saying things like you mentioned about, I have a program for her. It's like you're trying to get people to fit in your world as opposed to interacting with people on a level of appreciating what they bring too, I think that's probably the crux of his issue, is that he's like trying to force people to be in what he sees, as opposed to accepting and appreciating people as they are and having a wider range of appreciation for what people bring. I don't know how to explain it, because I think they're going to fall apart.
He gives me the perfect person to be subject to red pill content.
Ooh. Really interesting.
Yes.
Especially
he he seems douchey. Like he gives me douchey.
I could see that.
He gives me a woman is supposed to follow, is supposed to submit. What he says goes. He says that he's been looking for a wife since he was 19. I don't know what man, no matter the race, okay, especially if you are conventionally attractive and you make that much money, would have an issue finding a wife since 19 and you can't find one, unless what you feel, you have this box that you have prescribed for what you feel like your wife is supposed to be, and she has to fit in that box 100%. And if she deviates from that in any manner, it's a no, right? Like even this girl that he was dating and only saw, a couple of times, and wasn't supposed to be anything serious. I'm like, she doesn't like animals. Right.
Make yourself known. Oh, so sorry.
Yeah. No, honestly, please make yourself known. Come to the front.
Because I'm like, I want to know what was her side of it. Like, people come out of the woodworks, because we want to hear your story, girl. Because he was like, it wasn't serious. She's probably going to be like crazy. But then she was like, what? Is this a joke? Like, I would be like that a little bit if anyone called me and said, I'm going on the show. And I guess I would be like that. Like, okay. But I guess the way she sounded, it sounded like she thought it could be moving in a certain direction. And it would make me feel like so I'm not that person that you were thinking about. It would feel like rejection. Way. Yeah, because it's like you're going on a whole ass show. You seem like you didn't see something that, it would feel like rejection. And it would feel like, why are you calling me about this? That's why I kind of was like, why is he making him call? Like, I kind of thought that was a little weird. Did you think that was weird? The therapist making him call?
Why the hell do you have any loose strings and you're applying for this show? You shouldn't have been dating. And once you got to a certain point, a certain interview, you shouldn't be out here dating. Because what the fuck are you wasting my time for as a matchmaker? That's what I thought. I was like, you're already setting the girl that you're setting him up with for failure. I felt like that was it. I felt like it was necessary to say yes, you want to move forward in the process, but I felt like it was also a red flag to say maybe this isn't a person that we should be setting up on this experiment, because is he actually serious? And so you're saying that you want commitment, you've been looking for a lifelong partner since you were 19, you're so disciplined and you're so about your time, money, energy, health, X, Y, and Z, but even you are willing to waste your time and somebody else's. And then say, well, she doesn't like dogs and cats, so I don't know. She's not a big animal person, so it's no way it's going to work out. It's like, why were you dating her then? Yeah. Why were you dating her?
I agree with that. And then also the fact that the two of them knew each other, or exchanged numbers, and he never followed through on that. I'm like, you're not exhausting all your options, sir. But also, she's allergic to cats. Did you catch that?
Yes.
And I'm like, why would they? That's why I'm like, they just set up stuff for TV.
But she said I would take a pill for the right person.
But I'm like, I'm not sure if she's taking a pill for this one. But I think she already recognizes, like, all right, because the friends laughing, that I'm like, these girls. And
I said, they're my type of friends, bitch. She was like, I want to be at the bridesmaid table kickling and cackling and kicking my feet because this is actually a joke. Like, don't get up here and play this damn piano, especially if it ain't shit we can rock to. We don't want to hear no Casanova or whoever and Beethoven for 18-20 minutes. Play me some Alicia Keys. Play me something that we can sing along to a little bit.
Yes. Yeah, like have
this girl is on fire, something.
Yeah. But he gives that he wants to be the center of attention. Bit. So it's like, no, I'm not giving you something that's about your experience where my talent can add to your enjoyment. I'm giving you something that is I enjoy and you should enjoy it too, because I enjoy it and look, it's about to be so great. So yeah. He's interesting. But the one thing about the bridesmaids, I'm about to say that speech where she's like, has some of her best days horizontal. I'm like, okay, ho, like stop it right here. This is a little bit too much. Like when you talk about like best man, whatever speeches that were too much, that was a little bit too much. I felt like her bridesmaid. It's like y'all get down a little too hard. Like
it was. I know one thing. Nobody better embarrass me at my wedding. Because that'll be it. Because I wouldn't embarrass somebody at their wedding. Like, that's just not what we're here for.
Yeah, I'd be like, all right, take his mic. And then somebody needs to know that's take their mic. They done.
Correct.
they hit the bar a little too hard. They ain't got the boundaries about what to say and what not to say. Okay?
Right. The other thing I wanted to bring up was him talking about he's not embarrassed to be in front of her naked. Like, he was like, I'm not embarrassed to be in front of my wife naked. I trained to. Now, that was the one thing I agree with him, because I'm a girl in the gym. And so I know. I said, I'm with you, King. I'm with you when you right, my brother. Okay, because you don't spend all that time in the gym to be afraid to walk around naked. It is. The body is the outfit. I feel you.
Yeah, no.
So that was the one thing I agree with him on.
Yeah, no. I mean, but I also thought he would just do. It's like it's that big head.
It's still It's so because it is packaged in everything else. It don't land right, but I still agree with the sentiment. The last thing I did want to bring up was his parents not being there, none of his family.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, when you pair together the fact that you have been looking for a wife since you were 19 years old, to you clearly just dating out here for funsies, whatever, and then having these very rigid standards, and then all of a sudden now you getting married, this lifelong dream that you have, and nobody from your family is showing up, like nobody, siblings or whatever he said, out of the country, parents out the country, dad hiking, nobody can be contacted, grandparents are refusing to fly. I said, even they think this shit is a joke. They said, I don't even want to be a part of this shit. Not one person from your family could show up for this. Even they think this is a joke.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. This is not gonna last.
No, agreed.
I'm not betting on them like whatsoever. This is like the least
compatible.
I have the least faith in them.
Yeah, because they just seem so polar opposite. Like, there's a certain thing, like, when you're complementary and both of you have different things that you bring, but it can jive together. Like, this feels opposite, you know?
Yeah.
It doesn't feel complementary. So,
yes.
It is what it is. Do we want to get into Felipe and Tori next? Because
yes, let's get into Felipe and Tori.
Question marks.
He late to every goddamn thing. This is another one where I'm like, come on now. Why are we setting up with the person who talking about for the important things I show up, but this wasn't important enough where he could be on time because he out partying every night.
Yeah, he gives it did give like he doesn't even like when Nick was like, if I pick one guy that was not ready, it'd be him. And I agree. I'm like, it doesn't give that he's ready. Now, also, I didn't think he was that attractive. He was just like, yeah, I'm just so, and everybody was just I was like, I didn't think she was going to find him attractive, but she said he's hot. I'm like, girl, if you like it, I love it. You know what I'm saying? But I knew he was like,
yeah, definitely. Right. This is a man's first bad bitch, okay?
Right, because I was like, I thought she was gonna be like, but she said he's hot. I was like, okay. I'm like, everybody,
they're definitely attracted to each other.
Yeah, I'm like, everybody feeling this man, and I literally was just like, okay, you know, don't want to take nothing away from nobody, but I didn't see it. And when I first saw him, I thought it was I thought he was kind of goofy and a little like
the laugh was
feeling
corny.
himself in a way that I didn't think the outside world saw him that way. But like the therapist saw him that way. She said he hot. I'm like, all right. You know, I'm like, his mama was very like, I'm like, okay, mama.
Yeah,
she was giving sister. Like, okay.
Yeah.
But I wasn't seeing it in him. But she saw it, and that's all that matters.
That's all that matters, baby. That's all that matters. But yeah, I didn't have too much on them. I'm interested to see how this goes, just because it seems like he is out partying. I didn't really get too much of her personality to see is this something that she would like.
Well, it seemed like
she would also be out with him.
It seems like I feel like they might match. I actually feel like they might match because one of the therapists said it's like they're in a band together and she's the lead guitarist and he's the lead singer. And I'm like, I actually think that dynamic is because it seems like she wants that loud family that, you know, everything's kind of like, I think she said chaos, but not chaos. Like she wants that. I think he's going to bring that, but I think he's going to be the star of the show of it. And she's happy to be like the supporter to, you know, so it gives that if what she was explaining in her intro packet is her, she showed up to the wedding a little bit more demure than I expected from her intro package. However, it seems like right now she's into him and that's given it's giving good synergy. So they're one of the couples I have faith in, actually.
Yeah. I have faith in them too. I'm just wondering like if the partying and things like that, if it's going to start to be a problem. Now, Felipe does give me, because again, first bad bitch, that he's going to be on his best behavior in the beginning. He's going to be on his best. People like, I ain't giving this one up. I got this one for free. I ain't had to work for it. I ain't have to approach. I didn't have to ask for the number. I had to take you on your 51st dates, baby. So it's giving he might not cut up at least in the beginning. And so if he do end up, you know, not going party and all that, I think it's going to be because today, like, I got fine shit at home.
Yeah. So. Yeah, no, I agree with that.
But yeah, I don't have anything else on them, do you? Let's go ahead and get into Nick and Courtney. She is the bodybuilder. She loved to let everybody know she was a body. She looked like a bodybuilder too. All the tanning and stuff. So I was like, yeah, that's really big. But the biggest thing that I was kind of like, eesh, just her as an individual with her was when she said that she's conservative, and she was like, I don't understand how anybody can't be conservative, especially when it comes to finances. I'm like, girl, some things just don't have to be said. But I understand on a show like this, they're not discriminating based on your political views, so it is what it is. Now, I was surprised just seeing, because I saw Nick on The Circle, I saw him on Perfect Match. On both shows, I liked his personality, so I was surprised to hear him say that he's conservative and liberal about some things.
But then they asked him his ass what he liberal about. silence,
crickets. But I wanted them to also ask him. They should have also asked, "What are you conservative about?" Because I would have been like, "Is it still crickets?"
But they did ask. They asked, like, I think they said both. I think they said, "What are you conservative about and what are you liberal about?" And give me an example. And then he just was crickets. Because I think with both of them, I think it's a cop out when they like that. I'm fiscally conservative, like. That shit and I'm liberal about some things, conservative about other things. It's a cop out because I think they recognize that it's more socially acceptable to say that as opposed to say that I'm a January 6er. You know what I mean? Like it's more socially acceptable to say that. But then when you ask them certain questions like, "What did you think about January 6th?" and she's like, what happened on that day? And I don't recall. Okay. And then with him, when that silence is there, it's like, it's telling. So for me, I'm just sitting back. Oh, you guys are having issues. I don't know. I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah, I was just surprised because I've seen him on other shows and he does not come off that way whatsoever. Even when his friends had brought up like RuPaul's Drag Race and she thought they were talking about cars.
They are another couple that gives me they're going to have problems. Yeah,
definitely.
She's already like, you've been on TV so many times. Like,
yeah. Which, I mean, I feel like that would be a concern for anybody because it is like, how many times are you going to be on TV? But Nick, I can't remember exactly what happened with his season. I feel like he was kind of like the last guy gets chosen last type of vibe because he wasn't like super aggressive. He didn't get the girl. I can't remember. I feel like that's kind of like his storyline. And so he ended up getting dumped or whatever for somebody else.
He gives laid back. He definitely gives laid back. Just like not real ambitious. Maybe that's why he isn't married because he doesn't give like I'm a pursuer, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, did you have any thoughts about them?
Yeah, no, I was just going to say like in the beginning when they first got introduced, I was like, if they work out, it's going to be because he's just so chill. Like he's just like accommodating. I feel like he's going to be like, whatever you say, babe. And she seems a little bit more rigid. But then when he was like, nah, that tanning shit. Because when she took off that makeup, I'm not even going to lie. First of all, I was like 28.
Oh, she's 28.
Like not even I literally wouldn't have thought she was 28, but like when you tan that much, whether it's spray tanning, the tanning beds, it's just not good for your skin. Like really? Period. And so she now seems like she has like this orange red undertone. I'm gonna assume it's from all of the tanning.
Yeah. I do there was like her eyes were like whiter right there, but I guess that's because maybe they put on the little thing.
I thought it was maybe the glasses, or I was like, I don't know if it's from her makeup.
But you know they put on the little they look like glasses. Little cups over the eyes when they tan. I've seen that. Some horror movie, somebody got fried in a tanning bed. I don't know what movie that was, but like Scream or something. I don't know. And they couldn't get out. They were locked in it. And I remember that scene. But I don't know. It was, I don't know.
Yeah.
Moving on.
But yeah, it when he made that comment, I was like, I don't know if he is like 100% like attractive to her, because he was like, when she took off her makeup, I'm happy. That means she's confident. But that tanning shit, like, I'm gonna have to lay off on it.
And he said something about her extensions. Like he was like, "Oh, I didn't realize your hair was so long." And she was like, "This is not real." Like, oh yeah. And that seemed to be like, "Oh." You know, so I don't know, but he did seem to appreciate her taking off her makeup so he could see how she looked and that she was comfortable in that element. You know, some guys, you know, whatever. So yeah, I don't really have much else on them. Like I said, I do think that they are going to be one of the more struggle ones, but mainly because I think the suspicion she has is a suspicion that I would have, like the issue with the are you on TV, like why are you on TV so much, it is I would be sussed out about it as well. And then it's just giving they're gonna be sussed, and it seems like maybe I don't know.
I think I want to say maybe on like his season, I don't know if like a lot of the feedback that he got was like he should do Love Is Blind, but it's like he can't do Love Is Blind because he's known. You know, if anybody had happened to watch any of his shows, especially going from one Netflix show to the other and then being on Love Is Blind, which is another Netflix show, it's like possibly somebody would know who you are. And so maybe this was like the alternative to that. Let me do Married at First Sight since I can't do Love Is Blind. I think he does probably want someone, but you know, only time will tell. At the end of the day, you have been on hella shows, so
right.
And then we have Devin and Caitlin. I think they are very, very compatible. This was the rugby player, and then the girl with the daddy who kept saying, had shit to say. He was like, bruh, this shit right here, this ain't my forte. This is not how I wanted to give my daughter away.
But he kept, every time he said something, he did wrap it around with something nice. Yeah, so it ultimately wasn't the worst. But I was looking at it, I'm like, oh, this man is like, he is not, he's having struggles. Like, as she was walking down the aisle, everyone was walking around, he was looking like, this is not my cup of tea.
Yeah, I agree. He definitely was like, not my stilo, but wrapped it up well. And at the end, he said, like, I would have been very disappointed to not come. So I'm sure that gave everybody some relief. But I think that they are very compatible. They seem like cut from the same cloth. They seem like they have the same energy. They also seem very attractive to each other.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I think they're going to be fine, at least for now. The preview looked like they're having some trouble in paradise, because she said something about being exhausted or like basically going around in the same circle. So we shall see. But our last couple is Cameron and Michelle. To be honest, I don't have too much on them. I was definitely questioning where he stood with all this. He has like a lot of nervous energy to me. He seems very unsure about being in this process. He mentioned, not ever being in a long-term relationship, one, but two, that he would have to get used to being in a relationship and sharing space with somebody, which I feel like if you're choosing to go about partnering this way, like that's just not how you reassure your partner coming into this, like, or feeling like, making her feel like, oh, like, okay, I'm gonna have to walk on eggshells or make sure I don't disrupt your space too much. Like, I have to make sure you keep everything that you want, instead of being able to compromise a little bit. So I don't know about them. He also wasn't giving her a lot of eye contact through a lot of their conversations until they got into the bed. So I was kind of like, what's happening here? I don't know. So yeah, I don't know if they're gonna make it.
Yeah, no, I agree. The thing I think that they match on is they both want to be in these long term, like they both want to be in these relationships. They seem to be like obsessed about being in a relationship, like a deep relationship. They both kind of talked about that and like how other people think they're weird for it, or because they're like, they want to be so serious so early. So I think they may fall, but also it's just, there is something about why he can't be in a committed, like what's going on with that lack of serious relationship. I wonder what that's about, because there's something there.
Absolutely. Especially after you are done playing professionally. I understand when you are playing professionally, you're overseas, it might be a little bit more difficult. Well, not even a little bit. It's very difficult. Like I was in a long-term relationship that was long distance, and we were in the States. So I can only imagine being out of the country, and when you play internationally, you're constantly switching teams and things like that. So it's a lot. But once you're back, it's like I feel like the pursuit could have been on, and I always just wonder, like, when guys struggle to date, when they say, oh, I would like to date. It's one thing to say I would like to date or I would like to have something serious, but I just wasn't ready. Like, I thought I was ready, and like these are the things that I needed to work on. But it's like, if you've gone through this long stint of not being in a long-term relationship or dating seriously or intentionally, I kind of look at you like, why? Because in a traditional heterosexual relationship, you are the person who sets the pace for the relationship. And there are plenty of women who are, to me, and great women that are desiring a relationship, desiring marriage. And so I feel like if it's really the women who have the short end of the stick when it comes to dating and options, because we're waiting. Like, if we desire a heterosexual traditional relationship, we're the ones waiting. And so you have to be the person to step up, pursue, and say, like, this is what I want. And so when you don't do that, and you got all the options, I'm looking at you like, what's going on?
Yeah. Brother? Was he the one that said that or was this Adam who said that they typically date girls, they were like party girls, they're not ready for commitment?
Yeah, that was Adam.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I don't have much faith in them either. Like, it's like Adam and Melissa, just because they're so different. But these two, it's like they just not giving me enough. That's why I think they're gonna fail. So yeah.
I agree. Well, do you have any other thoughts on any of the couples or the first 3 episodes as a whole?
No. I think it's gonna be a good season.
Yeah, same. Alrighty, that is all, folks. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, that notification bell. Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you made it this far, drop a pink heart. And we will catch you for the next drop of episodes. Bye.
Bye.